Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. This week we're going to be talking about who's the best and worst influencers. And make sure to stick around at the end of the video to find out where we ranked. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the Mcu Illuminati, the YouTube wife, the delayer of shipments, the procrastinator of pre-orders, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar_Games. But that's not all. I'm also joined by the man who Modern Toy Fair has full custody over, the man Optimus Prime popped and he still can't stop, the Twilight Knight, the Master of Mac. Thank you. I fucking practiced this shit all day and I still didn't get it right coming back. The three-pump chump of taking the show off the rails, Nate.
What's up?
How have you guys been? It's been a while.
Has it?
Yeah.
Barely noticed.
It was last week.
I mean, technically we haven't had an episode up for 2 weeks.
I wondered about that.
Really?
One disappear.
One did disappear because I didn't get a chance to finish Jamar's top 10 list.
Okay.
Because I got working on the graphics and then I got into that crunch where I had to finish packing and prepping for the move. So I was like, fuck. And I tried to do it when I got here. And I may or may not have not remembered which box has the hard drive for the MacBook to be able to do that. So that's why that hasn't gone up yet. But hey,
a little peek.
All my hard work.
That will give us a free week at some point. We'll toss that in, take a week off. It'll be a little vacation week for us. We'll figure it out.
Which apparently I did get some sun because
you're still a little
red.
I'm
I'm out a little more these days.
I'm clearly not. I'm still a ghost.
Yeah.
I actually had to adjust the saturation to make me look like I have some color.
Yeah, this is getting a little out of hand too. Like I don't think I've shaved since I've been on. So
oh wow,
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Alrighty,
as I've already expressed before in the past.
Thank you.
All right,
feel free to run your hands through it at any point. It is.
We'll have to get together.
Quite
so
luxurious.
We'll just do an episode that's just me and Jarmar rubbing your face.
Oh please,
preferably with our faces. See if we can get all of our beards entangled in each other.
Yeah,
I like the idea of him being on camera and then my hand on one side and your hand on one side.
We'll just film his part separately, so we can still do the episode, and we'll still be in our actual areas. But then our hands will just be off screen.
We'll just set up the desks, the different. Yeah,
all right.
Sounds great.
Now that we've officially gone extremely off the rails, if you're still sticking around, let's get into the point of this video. So This kind of came up over the past couple weeks. I've seen a few creators mention it, mostly ones who were upset about it, and I wanted to talk about it. So JBR, I'm assuming it's supposed to be 3, it's just 3 small eyes, Collector. He's a smaller channel, much like us. The video, however, blew up, and this video was him. He does tier lists, so for those who don't know, essentially there's a program or a website or something you can go to, and you just take little squares of the picture of whatever you're doing, and then you can rank it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or S, A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't think there was an E. I think it just went D and F.
Yeah, it's like video game, like Japanese video game rankings.
Yeah, but I'm just in my mind realizing that like all these years in school, they taught us the alphabet, but then they fucked it up on the grading system.
Right, there's no E.
Oh, I didn't even think of that way.
You never realized that?
I never realized that till just now. My glass shatter moment here.
That's because he got a lot of
live on camera. I mean, I did do well. So I probably would have been better off if I would have gotten E's. Anyway, so a couple real quick things. So this video was him essentially ranking toy influencers, action figure influencers, whatever, reviewers, whatever you want to call them, essentially people with YouTube channels who are more successful and have a following, and him saying like, what his feelings were. At the beginning of the video, he states that this is his opinions, this is how he feels about it. It's not like anything to take as like the end all be all, which is smart. You always cover your ass. And, however, he then goes into essentially his requirements for his system. And his requirements essentially were shot composition, editing, variety as far as the figures you review, and entertainment value, and then also knowledge. But the knowledge, as we discover later in the video, it not necessarily about toys. So not necessarily you knowing what the joints are called or knowing everything about that figure or the company, but like just random shit that has nothing to do with toys. A quick example of that, which kind of annoyed me a little bit, is D Amazing. When he did his ranking, he made a big deal about him not knowing anything about anything and being super unknowledgeable because of him not knowing about things that he, like, for instance, alligator versus crocodile, or another thing that D Amazing has even come out and said, that he doesn't know a lot about guns. So like he doesn't know all their names and types and stuff. He didn't know that like a clip is considered a mag, and gun people get upset if you call it a clip and stuff like that. So he held that like against him pretty strongly, which I thought was weird. Yeah, so already his requirements were very, very strict and kind of opinionated. He does veer away from them for a few things, but we'll talk about that here in a while. Not a while, here in a little bit. He also, at the beginning of the video, says that this is his long requested tier list. So I was genuinely curious, because I'm like, okay, maybe this was a thing that people wanted to do, because that's going to be a question I'm going to have at some point in this episode, is should this have been done? And I went through the past roughly 8 months of his videos to look at the comments. Not a single person commented saying you should do reviewers. No, most people didn't even comment saying what he should, do next as a next tier list. Now that's not to say I didn't check his Instagram. He might have a huge following Instagram that like tells him what to choose. As far as YouTube goes, the research I did, this was not a requested video. So this was his doing, to my knowledge, and his, decision to go this route. So now you both either watched or skimmed the video. What were your initial kind of thoughts and feelings about it?
I'll go. So as going through it, to me, and I before I say anything, this whole episode, I feel like we're just talking about it in general, not like.
Yeah, we're by no means are we shitting on him by any means. It's more so just discussing, because this is kind of became a big drama in the toy world, despite the fact that you guys didn't know about it until I told you. But a lot of like reviewers and influencers and stuff like found out about the video and were kind of upset about some of the things he said, which I'll bring up some kind of more specifics here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I'm not like, shitting on anybody or anything in any kind of way, but like it did at first seem a little cringe of like, oh boy, like you're going through here, and some of the people who were on the F tier, and this is what I kind of just naturally kind of wanted to see, like what was the reasonings and whatnot. And I don't know if we're going into too many details, but a couple of them he just said like, I don't like their videos, or I don't like it. And it's an opinion, but at the same time, it didn't really feel like there was any kind of scale to like how I just think they're boring.
Yeah. Okay. It was they're boring, or they're annoying, or.
Yeah. It felt a little weird there. I mean, most of it, I was the one who skimmed. If we're, saying, but like,
I wasn't gonna call out which one of you it was, and I was gonna let
you didn't even have to mention.
I was gonna let the details of what you guys said show it for itself.
Yeah, but at the same time, I did find it kind of cool, because like I'm not, so knee deep into like the toy community, as you will. So like seeing some names come up, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and I actually went and checked out other like accounts and channels or whatnot. So. Yeah, I would say my initial thought was a little cringe, but it wasn't like this is a bad idea kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Okay. How about you, Nate?
I'm just trying to look as mean as possible at first.
You were scaring me, just so you know.
Yeah.
I thought you were just really mad at us for going away for 3 weeks.
I forgot that we did this, so. When the text came,
right?
Like,
that's why I was glad that I texted you guys so like ahead of time and not the day of, because I was like,
totally forgot that I didn't remember who you were. Like it was a whole thing. I was like, holy shit, what is happening?
Me.
No, but So a couple of things went through my mind because I actually watched it today. I actually had a time. I'm not going to say how I watched it. I may have been operating machinery at the time, but I was very safe. It was more about the oral that I was getting more than the visual, but I did see the visual. This dude is a genius.
Keep going.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Okay, this dude is a genius. First of all, what a way to make a stamp. You even said it yourself. You know, he's a small channel. He wants to get out there in the community, and if he wants to be known, what is the easiest and fastest way? And it's to rank the YouTubers. And I'm sorry if I get too far ahead or I bounce around too much or whatever, but anyone who was sad, boo fucking who? I don't give a shit. I thought everything that was said was either valid to a certain extent or at the end of the day was just some guy's opinion. Some guy who doesn't really have a following. So yeah, I agree with Jarmar. Initially I thought, oh, this is pretty cringe. This guy's, the intro's terrible. His editing sucks. He's not very engaging. He's not entertaining. And I'm not really sure about his knowledge. So all of his qualifications, I was like...
He was F tier in your book?
Exactly. But at the same time, though, I'm not going to say everyone, and I'm not going to say all the people on that list, but some of us within the community have elevated some of these people up to levels that they have certainly enjoyed certain levels of, you know, benefits and perks from and things like that. And you know what? Good for them, because you know, they were the first ones to get out there. You know, here we are kind of, you know, chasing after this because, you know, we probably had this idea too. Probably all three of us had this idea, but we just didn't do anything about it. These guys did. They're now Shartimus Prime. Okay. This is how he makes a living. This is what he does. But I also feel like if you can't take a little bit of criticism, then, you know, maybe this isn't for you either, because what this guy is, no, he's not a big-time toy reviewer. In fact, he fails all his criteria. But he is just some guy who does watch these videos. And that's also us.
That's true.
You know? And so once I kind of got past the point of all that and, you know, whatever that program was, it wasn't very visually appealing. And in fact, I was like, half the time,
I couldn't
figure out what the pictures were.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't really understand what S means, and you know, because everything else was
in video games, especially like Japanese video games, S tier is just supposed to be like special. It's the rank above A, like you did like perfect.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And I, you know, of what I knew, I don't know how many were in there overall. I would say I knew less than half, and watched, you know, maybe about 10 regularly. So but I know most of the ones in his F tier, and I know them because I've seen them and I've watched them once and thought, well, this isn't for me. So I also don't blame him for some of that. So all of those things wrapped up together, I thought the guy was brilliant. I thought his list was valid, and I think that people should grow a little bit of thicker skin, because I don't think anything was said that wasn't at least easily inferable from their videos. If that makes sense. I don't even know if inferable is a word.
I don't either, so you're in luck.
Potentially.
We'll get on that. We'll do a follow-up video where we apologize for the improper use of inferable.
Right.
So while I agree with you about the fact that like it's just some dude on the internet, like who cares about his opinion, I also look at this from a few other aspects of just, you know, a creator and like the behind the scenes aspect of it, because like you mentioned, he automatically fails all of his own criteria. And he even mentions like like when he says like, oh, editing can make or break a video, I'm not good at editing though. I at that point, that's almost like having someone who was like the worst football player ever becoming a commentator for the NFL. Like,
I have to stop you. I know you don't watch a lot of sports ball, but there is a person who's quite popular who was not great at sports, and that was Skip Bayless, who's just the contrary, but he's made a huge career off of that. So I'm just put it out there. It works sometimes.
Yes, well, I guess once in a
while.
While.
Made a big career out of what?
Just hating on. I mean, he's just goes. Yeah, commentating on sports. Okay.
But is he doing like the commentating of the actual games, or is he like they cut to a studio and it's 3 dudes who are old?
No, he has like a legit debate show that is very popular. Okay. And he talks about like players' motives and like how bad they are. He's famous for hating LeBron James, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that seems like a good way. A good way to spend your energy.
Good stance to take. Yeah. But yeah, so. My biggest thing with this, and I agree, thicker skin is better, especially nowadays where everyone fucking sheds a tear the second you sneeze at them. Some of the things he said, though, like, if you're going to do this video, you need to focus, especially if you set your expectations at the beginning with those, you need to stick to those. You can't veer away from them at all. You can't make it personal. Like some of the F tier people, he didn't really stick to his criteria. He kind of just said mean things like about why he didn't like them, like that were vague, instead of like really explaining like, oh, I don't like the way they edit their videos, I don't like this or that. Like he may have said they were unknowledgeable or unentertaining, but for the most part he didn't really get into anywhere near as much detail as he did for some of the people who were higher ranked. And I feel like if you're going to rank someone low, you better give a good reason, especially if you're giving good reasons for everyone else.
Are you familiar at all with any of the F stats?
I'm familiar with a couple of them. And real quick,
I didn't think he needed to go into that much more detail on most of them.
If you're polite about it, if you're not an asshole about it, like he had some real strong things to say about, what was it? It was I've never heard of this person, but Talker Art. He basically called them a bad person and a bad reviewer, and just like really
I want to
like 5
check
minutes.
that out because what he was saying, I kind of know
So,
what kind of person that is, and that's definitely not.
But at the same time, if your criteria is, and I'll repeat this, shot composition, editing, knowledge, variety, entertainment, that has nothing to do with your political or personal views. So,
sure.
So if you're going to get into that, then you can't say, oh, I don't like this person as a person, and that's why I don't like their channel. At that point, don't even fucking rank them. Or you need to, or at the beginning, you need to add to it that also it's going to be how you are as an actual person. Because that's another thing is, in his apology video, he talks about how he doesn't like D amazing as a person because D doesn't take shit. If you come on his Instagram or his comment in his YouTube and try to like start shit with him, he'll put you in his place. He doesn't care. He's like, this isn't his job. He does this for fun. He gets some great opportunities to review stuff early, but he isn't like, he's not going to put up with any sort of like abuse on the internet.
He doesn't need to come after me. He is not an F status, and he's one of the ones that I didn't know, and I apologize that I don't know him. You know, he doesn't know me, so fair.
He does now, Nate. He does now.
Yeah. You better, because I've been trying to get him on Twitter.
Your address,
and that's great. And I'll tell him that I didn't know who he was. But I won't say anything more on that.
What I would say, I'll say, like, the one person out of all of these people on the list, I mean, I've heard of, like, is it Shartimus Prime?
Shartimus Prime, yeah.
Okay. Is that never mind. And then, like, the Pixel Dan, he did, like, some NECA stuff, right?
Pixel Dan is mostly retro, but yeah, he's big with NECA.
Okay. So those are names that I know, but I don't never watch their videos. D Amazing, I was like, who is this? And I pulled up the video, I pulled up his channel. I was like, oh, cool. This guy, he looks cool. And as I was scrolling through some of his videos, one of them showed the red bar of completion. I was like, oh shit, this is 2 years ago when I was it was probably a year and a half, probably about 2 years ago. I was debating on getting the Mafex Black Panther figure. I was searching online for poses and stuff like that and reviews. And his was actually one of the reviews that I watched, and that was one that convinced me to get the figure. So I was kind of like, oh, wait, he's F tier? You know what I mean? So the whole
he wasn't
thing
F tier though.
No, he was. He
put
was
him at
F tier. Amazing.
D-Amazing was F tier in his video.
Oh, he was?
Okay,
yeah. That's one of the ones I did not know.
Yeah, D-Amazing, he had his F tier. And his reasoning was essentially, like I mentioned before, because because of his lack of knowledge outside of toys. So, like, the fact that he didn't know a difference between a crocodile and alligator because he claimed during his Fiona Crocmaster thing that his friend who works at a zoo told him that the figure is representation of an alligator, not a crocodile, which, I mean, no offense, D, but it's a crocodile. Alligators have thinner noses. But in the past, he's also, in a lot of his videos, especially with the Mezco stuff, he would get to review like some of the stuff early, and when he'd review like the guns and stuff that would come with the figures, he would openly admit he is not a gun person. He doesn't know what any of the names are, what the types are, nothing like that. And he'd be honest with it. He wouldn't bullshit you and just be like, this is an assault rifle or this is a handgun, and just like bullshit it. He'd straight up say it. And to that point, which now before I say this, I love Robo. The Fwoosh is hands down the best toy channel on the internet. No one can convince me otherwise. Even better than us. I mean, hell, Modern Toy Fair News was modeled after the Fwoosh Weekly. And
dude, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
So and I'm actively in the process of trying to get Robo to come on for Toy Therapy as well. So I have zero hate for Robo. However, in this video, he instantly puts Robo as S tier. But after ranking D-Amazing at F tier because of his lack of knowledge outside of toys, I feel like that's not fair because Fwoosh Robo actively has a graphic that he puts up regularly of Robo don't know. Like, there's a shit ton of stuff that Robo don't know. And
again,
yet...
I don't know this guy, so I can't say.
I'm just saying
he
it's ridiculous.
He specifically pointed out the alligator thing. I don't think he mentioned the gun thing, so maybe that wasn't in the videos.
No, that wasn't the video.
Right.
That was me bringing that up as past
he
offenses of D-Amazing.
He said he watched 5 videos of each person, so who knows what was in those videos in particular. So I get what you're saying, but also, you got to remember, this is some dude on the internet.
I know. I'm just saying I'm just pointing out the flaws in the video format because he set this expectation and didn't follow it at all throughout the entire video. That was my biggest problem with this. Is that he set rules.
Bat, he doesn't follow his own rules.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't
take it with a grain of salt. And I don't know how many subscribers he has. It didn't look like a ton.
I did write it down. If you want, we can call him out for it. I was gonna be polite.
No, I don't. No, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm not looking to make a war with him. But again, I just am pointing out that he is just a someone who actually seems to legitimately like this type of content and wanted to make a ranking. Now, I don't know who Cowboy Curtis is that made the list or whatever his name was.
Yeah, there were quite a few that I didn't know. Some of them I know from Instagram and some of the toy groups, but a lot of them
the guy he said that suggested this topic and gave him the list. I don't know how long they've been talking about this in or whatever. In fact, like, that guy's channel did get a boost, a mention as well, even though he doesn't do videos anymore. Like, this was all very calculated, and I think it's extremely smart.
It wasn't, though. So in the apology video, he brings up that some of the comments. Well, here's another thing: is the video actually didn't help his channel. Like, I don't know where he was subscriber-wise before, but he still hasn't passed the 1,000 subscriber mark. Okay. The video has done 30,000 views, though. So the video did fantastic, but it didn't actually help his channel. So it's one of those things where you go viral, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So what was the point? But in the apology video,
like when Hasbro made us stop collecting.
Yeah, exactly. Except for we didn't expect that to actually fucking go anywhere. I figured that was going to do us about the same as our normal videos, maybe a little bit more. And that shit fucking blew up. But it actually helped our channel. We gained like 400 and something subscribers from that and put us over the 1,000 mark. And that video alone did the hourly thing that you have to do to get monetized as well. So that video by itself met all of the expectations we needed to get monetized. So while it wasn't intentional, it at least
we're rolling in it.
It did benefit our channel immensely in the long run. But what I'm saying is, yeah, that video, like his other videos aren't getting more traction because of it.
Okay.
Where ours, a lot of our other videos, people went back and watched them because I noticed the uptick in that as well in the analytics. But we're not talking about us, so why? What?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I like to talk about us, even though I'm not a fan of this show.
I said you don't even like the fucking show.
I'm a big fan of me, though, and I was on that thumbnail, so
you
woo!
were, yeah. Your thumbnails just do great. I don't get it.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
People don't like Jarmar. People definitely don't like me, which is fair. A little less fair that they don't like Jarmar. Now I've lost track of where I was. But yeah, this video. So in his apology video, he brings up that a lot of comments were in regards that he should have, had at least somewhat of a script and planned out the video ahead because it feels like he just rambles a lot. And he says, which this tells me he doesn't understand content creation. He says that no, with tier and list videos, you don't do that. You just bring it up and then you decide right there on the spot, like what you're going to do and just talk about it. And like, I get that to an extent because you want your reaction to be genuine, but in content creation, and he said he actually had to put the video at 1.4 speed to shorten it because it was an hour and a half and he wanted to make it so it was less than an hour. So he put it, that's why he sounds so like, almost like borderline stressed out in the video. Like, at first I was like, man, he sounds like he's having an anxiety attack over this.
Right.
And then he mentioned that, and that, I'm like, that makes more sense now. He had to bump up the speed to shorten the video. But yeah, so like you've got to, at least plan out a little bit, even if it's just figuring out where you're going to rank people and maybe having just like some notes jotted down or something. You can't just fucking freeball it. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's not a sustainable way to do content creation. Now, like if that's how you want to do it, good for you. I hope it works for you. Mm-hmm. It's, not my pig, not my farm. I'm just saying that I guarantee you there's not a single content creator, whether it's toys or otherwise, who has made it to that higher level who does not plan out their videos. Because it's just, you can't do that because you'll just ramble like we do and get nowhere.
I was just thinking that. Go ahead.
But yeah, so he didn't plan it out. It didn't really benefit him long term. If anything, I mean, the fact that he put out a apology video because there was one person in the F tier. Where did I put it? The Annoying You with Friendship channel, which he didn't even remember their name in the video.
Yeah.
He put them F tier, and he said just like some real mean things about them. And then she proceeded to get hate comments on her videos because of him. So while I agree about thicker skin, because of him, another content creator got harassed.
Yeah, it's not quite.
Yeah. So like, it brings you back to like, why? Like, if it was just clout chasing, there's much better ways to do it. Like, just shit on Hasbro like the rest of us, bro. Like,
but that absolutely does bring up a great point, and that's not something I even thought of because that's not what I do. Is then watch a video and then go be horrible to someone because I'm not built that way. So I didn't think about that, and that is super shitty, and that kind of puts things I've said in a different light. And
it's okay. No one watched this far, so they just think you're an asshole and didn't realize that I corrected
it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what I would. Oh, go ahead. Go finish your point.
It's unfortunate because probably that person is probably like least deserving of that, whereas the other horrible ones, like I'm sorry, like I've dealt or I've seen Rocco firsthand. Like that's certainly not for me, and I don't like his marketing and all things like that. But yeah, being shitty to somebody just because you don't, like the way they do stuff, that's not fair. And that I know that wasn't his intention.
Yeah, that wasn't his intention. I think it comes back to the problem I mentioned. He didn't stick to his analytical rules. He went off script and just basically got a little personal and just kind of mean with some of his comments and didn't like go into depth of like, I don't really care how they shoot their videos, or the editing is just kind of off, or there's a lot of jump cuts, or when they review things, they just kind of ramble. They don't really stick to like what they're talking about. Like, he didn't get into depth like scientifically about how he viewed it. He just basically said they're boring, they're unentertaining, I find how positive they are annoying. Like, he said things like that, which then leads to unfortunately someone basically getting cyberbullied on their channel because someone would decide to clout chase and make a video ranking other YouTubers, which that's another thing here with this that's a problem. And I'll let you go here in a second, Jarmar, so I make sure I don't forget this. No. Another problem with this is, so in this industry, like, I don't know if this is something he wants to eventually try to do full time, or if he's literally just doing this as a hobby. But if you do decide to make these as, you know, intentionally and trying to make it as a career, last thing you want to do is to, you know, piss off any of your coworkers. Because at the end of the day, every single person on this platform is your coworker, and networking is very important, and a lot of people can help you in many ways. So kind of you're risking hurting someone who down the line could become a friend and an ally and help you raise your channel and your content to the next level that it needs to, which is just not good business.
That's a fair point, and actually leads to kind of what I was thinking as well, is like, this type of ranking is entertainable and entertaining. Yes. Sorry, don't hurt me.
It's okay. No, we don't read dictionary.com, guys, so
it's entertaining for sure, because I've seen other S tier. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but there's people I follow in like the video game industry that do S tier, or I keep saying S tier. They do tier rankings for like games and stuff like that, and it's a little bit easier to kind of like stomach that, because you do have that controversy in the comments, and like, it builds engagement, because it is like, what you said, you know, Crash Bandicoot 3 was the worst, is F tier when Crash Bandicoot 1 isn't, I don't know, you know, anything, stuff like that. So I understand that, but when you're dealing with like a person, or like you said, coworker, it is kind of hard to do that list. Do I think that it's impossible to do like a tier ranking list? I don't know. Maybe we do one in the future. I don't know. I'm joking.
I told so friend of the show, Dave Wonder, made the list. He got ranked C solely just because he does live streams and doesn't do normal edited content.
That one, I'll say, is pretty funny, because that one was also that he does live streams while that guy is busy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm too busy to watch him live, so I don't enjoy it.
That's a fair criticism. Some of them were.
But yeah,
I'm not so sure that that's a fair criticism.
Dave,
I don't know. You need to change your time.
Yeah, I joked around with Dave during when he came back from his break, and I was like, "It's okay, Dave. You got C there, but we're gonna do a smash or pass episode of all the content creators, and we'll get you."
Okay, so
that's gonna be a bad idea. Oh,
Dave got a good laugh out of it, so it's okay.
I'll be sick on that episode.
Yeah, me too.
Me by myself, being like, I would smash the fuck out of Dave Wonder.
God, I can't continue after that. Oh no, but in all seriousness, this could have been done, because I don't want to say like, oh, this is shit, you're stupid, don't ever do this again because you hurt people's feelings. But it could have been a good thing for a content creator who maybe needs to hear that criticism, whether it's fair or not. But it could have just been approached in like a different way of saying like, here's some reasons why I'm not really a huge fan of their channel, and like also say, here's some things that they could actually do to make me more of a fan, instead of just doing the, like you said, like, it seemed more like a personal.
Yeah, it got personal at times.
Well, a lot of them, not even just
really like that.
Yeah,
some of it was. It was like, you know, hey, the videos should be about 5 minutes shorter. This, and this, and yeah, if he'd have kept that same approach
for everyone, yeah,
and that comes back to why you need to plan out your videos.
Yeah, I mean, we learned something here, but yeah, I mean, yeah. That was my point.
But yeah, so for the most part, that's really all I had as far as.
I have a question.
Yes.
For you. Did you see a glaring omission? And I don't mean the obvious glaring omission, but was there anybody that you were like, hey, wait a minute, that's weird?
I mean, there were some people that I watch who are decently big who didn't get on there, but they mostly do more toy hunting videos. So I don't know if that would have, because while he said toy influencer, it seemed like his opinions were mostly on reviews, even though there were some people like Dave who doesn't really do reviews on the list.
God, I can't remember the guy's name now. I don't even remember the name of the company or the figures that he collects.
Are you talking about Paige?
Yeah, Paige.
No,
what's those toys called?
Mezco.
Mezco, yeah.
Yeah, no, Paige, the toy Paige was not on there. Sorry, Paige. As you can see how well he remembers your episode Toy Therapy.
Hey, I can't.
Right,
I always tell the joke.
I introduced myself to someone we did a show with once.
Yeah, he did in real life, and then he didn't remember him. But for me, yeah. So MCE with What's Poppin'.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty big. Kent Pole, he wasn't on the list. Who else is in that group? I don't think Mike Pence was on that list. Cincy wasn't on that list.
Definitely not Mike Pence, because
I thought the same thing too. Anyways,
this is crazy. Cincy wasn't on that list.
That's why I was a little surprised that Cincy probably the most. He doesn't really do. He does some reviews.
He does it like kind of lightly, like during his live streams. He'll like show what he's bought recently, and he'll kind of review it on the spot. But he doesn't do like we do where it's like specific. Like this video is nothing but that.
Right, but he does a lot of stuff that I think some of those people on the list didn't do, and so I thought like maybe he was a little more qualified. Yeah, Josh Pence does.
Josh, not Mike. Sorry, that's
mostly does.
Thank you for correcting that after you made the joke.
No, that's all right. That's all right. But like Cincy, he's on like Toys with the Boys a lot of times with Dave and with Robo. So like, I mean, he's kind of up there.
Yeah.
And then like I was kind of a little bit surprised with MCU Collector not being included in there, just because of he's pretty well known, at least in the community. Maybe not for his reviews. He's even said that he's just not. He sucks at posing and doesn't but he just likes to take a look at the figures and stuff like that. So I just was curious.
I don't remember, was Dan Who on there?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember because I know he had David Display's model
behavior.
But I couldn't.
Yeah, Dan Who was I think he was A or B.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, even Greg Cook, he's another one. He actually does reviews because he'll like go and do his toy hunts, and then if he finds something cool, he'll review it on his channel. And he didn't make the cut either, and he's a part of that same kind of group of all of them with like Kent and stuff. So there was definitely some glaring omissions. The biggest one, of course, was us.
What?
We didn't even get fucking ranked.
I thought the spot next to I don't know who was on S tier.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say next to The Amazing and F.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, like we said, we would like to hear. I would be curious what people an honest opinion what people think of us. Just don't be mean, That's all.
Hey man, I get comments all the time in stuff like
I know, but
telling us how great we are. So I'm just like, hey, we're great. Why aren't we doing better?
Yeah. I pay
Talk
for
shit
those
about
comments. I pay for those
elbows.
comments. That's a joke that no one will get.
Yep. You're welcome. But yeah, so
did I ruin your bit?
No, we're good. My bit was
okay.
My bit was falling apart at the seams, so it's all good.
And one last thing, in all seriousness, the reason why I think this is something that is kind of helpful is because for someone like me who didn't know most of these people on the list, it actually made me go and check out some of these people, and like
I will say that
it was helpful for like discovery of other toy content creators. I can't talk.
There were a lot of people on that list who I had never heard of, who I then I'm like, oh, I should check them out, this or that or the other. So I do agree that was one positive thing that came from this list, was the fact that there was a lot of people who you might not have known that now you might go check out. Unfortunately, the reverse of that also happened, where some people got harassed due to his comments.
That definitely sucks. I bet you that some of those people saw a lift in views, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. But at the same time, is it worth the lift in views if you're just getting harassed in the comments over and over again? Because those people are hitting your analytics harder then, because it's hurting your watch time because they'll be there for the 30 seconds it takes for them to be like, fuck you, asshole, and then...
Listen, I'm trying to recover here. I
know you're trying to save your brand. I get it. We'll have to add that to your title. The asshole who thinks you should get a thicker skin.
Oh God.
Some of them do though.
I agree. There were some of them who did get a little sensitive about their rankings, and nothing really mean happened to them. But like some of them were valid. Like when he just said mean things and didn't actually give like criticisms, like valid criticisms.
Don't repeat yourself. You're gonna be on the list.
Yeah, I am, because we rambled. But you know what? So did he. You know what? We kept this video within 40 minutes, so I don't have to even put it at 1.5 speed for you to enjoy it.
I feel like we're talking trash. We should end the show.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy overall. The fact that he made an apology video kind of shows that he mildly regrets it. Yeah. And
he's not a monster.
Yeah, he's not like a dickhead who just went on the internet just to shit on people to shit on. It's not like he's like, this is the top 10 worst YouTube channels ever, and they were all us or something. So I have no like real problem with him. By no means.
I'll make that video.
I just really wanted to talk about it just because it was kind of a big thing that happened while we were gone.
Let's ride them coattails.
Yeah, man. We're all about clout chasing here, so
hey, man,
more power to you, buddy.
It's all good.
But that's gonna be. Yeah, that's what toy therapy basically is. Let's be real.
I'll make a list of like top 15 sexiest toy YouTubers' beards. And I'm number one.
I'm so happy that the ended with beards, because I was really worried we were about to get canceled.
Hear that, Robo? Yeah. I'm calling you out.
Oh my God. I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Toy therapy basically is just us. Let's be honest, it's not even us clout chasing. It's me wanting to become best friends with all these people because I see them hang out at cons and I'm just like, that looks like fun. Can I come?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week's video. Or if you're listening to the episode audio only version on Spotify, this week's episode's over. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Modern Toy Fair. Make sure I'm gonna have some videos down below near Nate this time. Check out one of our most recent reviews, and also check out Smash or Pass, one of our most fun fucking videos that we do that gets love, but not as much love as it deserves.
Where I talk about having sex with G.I. Joe.
Yes, they will both be down here right next to Nate, so check those out. As always, you can check out Why You're a Gamer on all major podcast platforms, where you can hear Jarmar talk to people about why they enjoy their video games. Nate, what do you got for us this week?
We got a new podcast coming out this week called Dictionary Review. We are actually going to go through each word of the dictionary. We're going to talk about it. We're going to spell it. We're going to read the meaning of it. And we're going to talk about how we use it in regular, everyday life. One word a week. We hope it'll run in infinity.
And beyond. But hopefully we'll see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.